If you're looking for a dog trainer in the Huntsville, Alabama area, check out Top Gun Dog Training. They've got a stellar reputation with nothing but 5-star reviews on Google and Facebook. Top Gun Dog Training specializes in training puppies as well as behavior modification for adult dogs. You can check them out at topgundogtraining.com. I'm Dale Buchanan, and this is Puppy Talk, the podcast that offers free advice and tips for raising a happy, healthy, and obedient puppy. For more information on this podcast, visit us online at puppytalkpodcast.com. Welcome to Puppy Talk Podcast, episode number 129. I'm your host, Dale Buchanan. Today we're going to talk about why dog training is more than commands and what dog training is actually about. Dog training is not just about teaching commands. It's about helping owners understand their dogs and giving families tools that actually work in everyday life. I want to start with that because it sums up about 90% of what I see in real life as a dog trainer. Most people don't come to dog trainers because their dog can't sit. They come to us and they call us in desperation because life with their dog feels hard. People are desperate to get this fixed and understand it better. Walks are stressful. Guests coming into the house is stressful. Even relaxing at home feels like work. And when your dog is stressing you out and frustrating you, it's time to take action. It's time to start over with a coach. Somebody like myself who can sit down with you and give you the guidance and the tools and teach you how to work with your dog effectively without constantly barking orders at them and giving them commands and having that dog settle down on their own. So today we're talking about what dog training really is and why commands alone don't fix most problems that people go to dog trainers for. When people call me, they have usually a long laundry list. Stop barking, stop play biting, stop jumping, stop going on furniture, stop running out the door, stop jumping on guests, stop pulling on the leash. And what I do with these people, first and foremost, when I get them on the phone, is I try to change their perception and their mindset to not focusing on everything that they want fixed with the dog or to stop the dog from doing, but to focus on what we want the dog to do instead. And every single time the owners have never even thought about that. Their focus is so much on what they want to stop the puppy from doing, they have never even thought about what they want the puppy to do in replace of the unwanted behaviors. This is a very important mindset shift. It's a paradigm shift. It's thinking differently. If I don't want my puppy running to the door and jumping on people, they have to stay on their bed. If the dog is barking at me, I need to understand its communication and know that they're trying to tell me something. If the dog is chewing on furniture, they're bored. If the dog is pottying in the house, they've got too much freedom. If the dog is pulling on the leash, they're not socialized properly. All of these things are not the dog's problem. They're the owner's issues. They're the owners not taking responsibility to do what's needed with the dog to get them to be very polite, calm, and well-behaved from the very first day. And what happens is people start giving more commands and more orders to the puppy, and it doesn't work. In other words, a dog can know sit, down, stay. They can know a few basic commands and still be a mess in daily life. They can still have horrible behavior because obedience commands and behavior are not even related. That doesn't mean that the dog is stubborn or doesn't mean that they're bad. It usually means the training stopped at commands, that the owner thinks that dog training is commands. And in addition to that, the owner thinks that dog training is repeating commands. Sit, 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 sit. Down, stay, down, no, stay, no, stay, stay, stay. Dixie, stay, Dixie, no. Dixie, stop. Dixie, stay, Dixie. And I've used this in so many podcast episodes, you guys. I've used this all the time. Never repeat commands, never get frustrated. Never let the puppy see you as being anything but a calm and confident leader. Don't go there because the dog doesn't trust you as a leader when you start acting like that. Dogs don't live in training sessions. The training sessions are the practice. And what we have to train the dogs to do is to live in chaos. Doorbells, kids, cars, bikes, sounds and sights that are outside, squirrels, other dogs, cats, emotions. Those are all distractions. And if training doesn't include working through the distractions, it falls apart in real life because you're just practiced. In other words, if you're a football player, if you're a quarterback, you practice for a good part of the year with your team, and that practice is setting you up for the games. The games are where it really counts, when you're in battle. The same goes for a musician or a singer. You're with a band, you practice with the band, and then you go on tour, and then you can play live. All of the practice, all of the rehearsal gets you ready to play live when there's an audience and when it really counts, where you can't make a mistake. Dog training is no different. You practice with a dog trainer, with a coach, and you practice every day. Listen to the last podcast episode I did on how to incorporate practice into your dog training routine, because practice is very important. You have to practice hundreds or even 1,000 repetitions of one thing for the dog to get it really good. Knowing a command is not the same as knowing how to behave, and a dog will learn how to behave through practice. I take the dogs that I train with their owners to dog-friendly stores that have a high level of distractions. These include Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply, Rural King, Bass Pro Shops, Hobby Lobby, Dick's Sporting Goods, and an outdoor mall here in Huntsville called Bridge Street. The other day, we took 2 rescue dogs that have never been outside the house, except for some short walks in the neighborhood, to Ace Hardware. That's also a very good place. Some pet stores can be good, but sometimes pet stores are too small and they have too many distractions and too many smells, so they may not be a good idea. It really depends on the pet store. When we take these dogs to socialize them in these places, we are working with them through the distractions, and they have to do calm behaviors like lay down and stay when people are walking in and out of the store. People on my Instagram page have seen videos of this for years. A dog will start to learn how to behave well on their own. They'll lay down on their own voluntarily. They'll watch people come in and out of the store with their shopping carts and flatbeds, and behind them is a forklift, and then there's announcements on the loudspeaker. They just lay there and watch. And that is the best thing you can do for a dog, especially if they're reactive, if they're stressed, if they have anxiety, if they have fear. The best thing you can do is take them to a place with a high level of distractions. I like home improvement stores like Home Depot and Lowe's the best, and have your dog do nothing. You don't have to walk around and greet people. You don't have to do anything. Just have them lay there at the entrance and turn it off. That's the best way to get the dog to behave well in all situations. Understanding the dog. Most behavior issues make a lot more sense when we look at the dog's perspective. Stress, excitement, fear, confusion. Dogs communicate constantly, but most owners don't know what they're seeing. When you understand why a dog is doing something, the solution becomes clearer and usually simpler. You stop reacting emotionally and you start responding intentionally. Reacting emotionally from your dog's unwanted behavior when they don't know how to behave doesn't make any sense. When the dog senses your frustration and your stress, they are going to get more stressed out as well. Let me give you some examples. When your dog is barking at you, they're communicating to you. They're trying to tell you something. The other day, I was working with a couple with a 4-month-old puppy. I think it was a Labradoodle or a Golden Doodle. It was some type of doodle, and it kept barking at them during the training session. And I said, your dog needs to go outside and go potty. They didn't see that. No, your dog does need to go outside. Take them out right now, bring them back in, see what happens. Went outside, went pee right away, came back in, no more barking. Sometimes the dog barks because they're hungry. A lot of times I have to say, let's just feed your dog half its meal right now. They're very hungry. They're barking. They're showing signs that they're starving. So they're trying to communicate to us that they need more food. We give them more food. They calm down right away. It happens all the time, and it works every time. If your dog is chewing on furniture, they're bored. If your dog can't sit still, they need more exercise. If your dog is getting ornery and not listening to you, maybe they need more sleep. A lot of dogs don't get enough sleep, especially puppies. Puppies need 16 to 18 hours of sleep a day, and if the owner is constantly giving affection and coddling the dog and wanting to throw the ball and play with the dog, play and affection does not make up for lack of sleep. And in review, the 5 things that the dog needs, even a puppy: number 1, exercise; number 2, mental stimulation; number 3, enrichment; number 4, socialization; number 5, play; and at the very bottom is affection. I get emails all the time. My new puppies play biting me when we pick them up. How many times are you picking them up during the day? Dog doesn't need to be picked up all the time and held all the time. They don't need to be having that much affection. They're probably getting annoyed. They don't have any other way to communicate other than bite you with their sharp little razor teeth, because they don't have hands with thumbs. They can grab you. They can't tell you anything because they don't know English. So the only way they can communicate to you when they don't want to be coddled all the time is by using their mouth, and they're going to use it on your hands and arms and skin everywhere. They even can nip at your face because they're annoyed. They just don't need that all the time. So your dog's communicating with you all the time. You just have to listen. When I talk to a new client on the phone, I always let them know that most of the training is for them. It's not for the dog. The owners have to learn impeccable timing, have consistency, have realistic expectations. Not because owners are doing anything wrong. Sometimes they are, and sometimes I have to correct that. But because they just never learned. Nobody showed them. A lot of my clients are older, over 60, 70, some even in the 80s, and they don't remember what it was like to own a new puppy. They get frustrated easily. They don't understand how much work it is to potty train a puppy, to get them housebroken, and how much mental stimulation they need, and how much enrichment that puppy needs. Owners need to show confidence with their dogs, because once the owner is confident and they're calm and they're relaxed and they're giving good leadership, setting boundaries for the puppy, then behavior improves instantly. And this is where the real progress happens. It has nothing to do with sit down, stay, come, leave it, drop it, go to your bed. It has nothing to do with commands. We want to use these tools in everyday life. Real training gives families tools they can use when things go sideways. There are no perfect moments. There are only real moments. No dog is perfect. No human is perfect. Our cars aren't perfect. Our house isn't perfect. Our community isn't perfect. Our job isn't perfect. The world is not perfect. Why do owners constantly expect their dogs to be perfect after owning them for 1 week? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. But this is how people think about dogs. The dog should know how to listen and behave when I tell them no or when I tell them something. And if you listen to my podcast long enough, you understand that I don't even use the word no with a puppy or any dog. It's not part of training. We focus on other things that we want the dog to do instead. A lot of owners don't understand what to do when their dog loses focus. They just start being harsher to them and getting louder to them. They don't know how to interrupt the behavior without yelling. We never yell at a dog. We never punish a dog. You just need to set boundaries very clearly early on. I've said this before. When I got Dixie, the first thing I taught her was to go to her bed, lay down, and stay. She was 4 pounds, 10 weeks old. She's a mini Australian Shepherd. I talk about her in every podcast episode. And she's 6 years old now. And she's perfect. Perfect behavior in the house. Perfect behavior outside and in public. Perfect behavior everywhere I take her. Group classes, everything. And I never say a word to her, hardly ever. I never give her commands. I never even taught her that many commands. I taught her maybe 5 commands. And that's all I needed to get her to behave well. And she does it all on her own now because of conditioning and because of this type of leadership. You're going to mess up. And you have to learn how to recover when you mess up, because everyone messes up. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone learns the skills, and then they take their dog outside and it reacts to another dog, starts barking and lunging. All you can do then is just take your dog back inside, reset, and start over the next time. Training takes a long time. It's not that you can do one session with the trainer and all of a sudden it's going to be the magic bullet. I wish I had a magic wand to fix everything and a crystal ball to know how fast a dog's going to be able to change. But I don't have those things. No dog trainer has those in their arsenal. They don't exist. We're working with real life now, and we're working with real life situations. The bottom line is this. If you're frustrated with your dog because you think they should know better and they still struggle to learn good behavior and understand what you want from them, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you weren't given the right tools from a coach. And this is where I coach people through this podcast, through my books, through the one-on-one training in Huntsville, Alabama. Dog training isn't about commands. It's about understanding, communication, and practical skills that work in real life. Not by barking orders at your dog and yelling at them and giving them command after command after command. That doesn't work, because if it did work, you would not be calling a dog trainer or listening to this podcast. You would have everything already figured out. You wouldn't need these resources. I hope this information was helpful to you. If you have any questions, as usual, you can contact me through my website, puppytalkpodcast.com. Have a great day.